welcome to Half Horse Tarot. I am here with your monthly reading for the month of September 2018. Before we go ahead and get started, I do just want to go ahead and apologize to you guys and also the rest of the air signs for saving you guys until last and being so late to get your readings out there relative to all of the other signs. But things have been really chaotic on my end, and I've just now had the time to do your readings and go ahead and get these videos filmed and put out for you guys. So I do apologize again for that. Additionally, I am filming these videos in the month of August still, so if you're watching this particular reading and it's not really resonating with you, you might get some benefit from going back and checking out the monthly videos for August and also the mid-month updates. One of those readings might resonate with you a little more, and because a lot of the signs are going through major stuff in terms of transitions and changes, a lot of the energies from the August readings will probably carry throughout not only the month of September, but also potentially through the end of the year for some of you guys. So again, if this doesn't resonate or if you want a little bit more clarity about your situation, try checking out those other videos. And additionally, always check out your moon sign and rising signs for the videos as well, because they might give you a little bit more information, or one of those readings might resonate a little bit better with you. And all of the other sign groups are up. You guys are just the last ones that have been the holdouts. So with that all being said, I will go ahead and get started with your reading. There's definitely a lot of interesting things going on for you guys this upcoming month, and before we get into it, I do just want to go ahead and point out the preponderance of blue in your particular reading. If you look at a lot of these cards, there's definitely a lot of blue energies. Your energy even pops up here with your Major Arcana card. There's just blue everywhere. It's all over the place in every card. And blue is all about peace and calm and wisdom and intellect and clarity, healing. It also represents the throat chakra, so it governs communication, maybe speaking openly and honestly, not just to others, but maybe to ourselves. So that is something to keep in mind. And I don't normally bring up colors, but because it's literally almost the focal point of every single card, I do just want to go ahead and bring that up. So anyway, for your central issue for the month, you guys have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Now, this is going to be an interesting card because I think it's going to play out differently for a lot of you guys. There's several different storylines going here, and there's one particularly in regard to romantic relationships where, this person in the upright is somebody who is like that strong, independent woman who don't need no man type of energy. She can handle herself. She's got a massive amount of resources, and she's clearly capable, and she's doing just fine without anybody's help. So in terms of romantic relationships, this person is like that person who's just single and they're happy with that, and they don't need or want really anybody else around. In the reverse, sometimes this card can be about people almost like wishing and praying for a romantic partner to come in, and you do have a lot of romance cards here, so this will definitely resonate with some people. Basically just being unhappy, being single. And so the focus for you guys this month is going to be, finding a partner, getting in a relationship, no longer being single, whatever that may mean for you, whether that's just like casually dating or looking for something long term. It's just going to depend kind of on what you're looking for. But others of you, it can be in regards to your financial state. Maybe you are going through a bit of a rough patch in terms of your personal finances. You're not in a state of destitution like you would see in the Five of Pentacles upright, but maybe things just aren't going as well as they need to be. Maybe you're experiencing a bit of a strain on your resources, but it's not anything crippling or damning. But again, for a lot of you guys, there is an overwhelming abundance of romance cards, so I'm probably going to be referencing the romantic relationship storyline multiple times throughout this. So, the reading may not resonate with all of you guys completely for that reason alone. A little bit more general meaning for the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, though, is somebody who, because she has her stuff together in the upright, maybe you're feeling like you don't have it all together. Maybe things are just feeling a little bit chaotic, or you're feeling a little lost and unable to stand really on your own 2 feet. Maybe not feeling very confident in yourselves. You could also be feeling restricted or trapped. So again, just to try to make it resonate with as many of you guys as possible, the way that this is going to play out for you guys, because this is your central issue, is going to be different for all of you guys this upcoming month. So taking a look at your distant past, we have the Knight of Swords in the reverse. This can be potentially your energy, but I don't normally read the Knights or the Pages when it comes to court cards as people. However, I do just throw it out there just in case it does make sense to somebody. The Knight of Swords could also be another person in your life, most likely somebody around your age. They could be male or female, and they would most likely be an air sign like you guys, sun, moon, or rising. And that could be Aquarius, Gemini like you guys, or Libra. So this could have been somebody you dealt with a while ago in your distant past. They may have been somebody who you're romantically involved with. Again, most likely another air sign. And maybe things just didn't work out. You couldn't get things off the ground with them. Even if it's not a romantic partnership, it could be some other sort of relationship, like a friendship or a business partnership, and you might have been struggling to make things work. They could also just be somebody who was a bit of an emotional drain, because the Knight of Swords in the reverse can be somebody who is really brash and kind of comes in and has no sense of tact. Like, they just say stuff and they don't really care whether or not what they're saying is hurtful or even necessary to say in the first place. They may also be somebody who's just indecisive, has difficulty communicating, all the things that air signs are known for, with that being in the reverse, just really not being able to harness that energy. And that could be or could have resulted in a major emotional drain for you guys, because it could be difficult dealing with that energy. But if this isn't a person and if this isn't you, then what we could be looking at is just what's been going on energetically within the last couple of months. This Knight of Swords, the swords are a pretty quick suit. They're generally seen as being the fastest suit behind the wands. So maybe with this card being in the reverse, that energy is just blocked. Like, there's not really much forward movement. And your next card in the spread does kind of indicate that that might be the case, that just things aren't really moving forward, especially for a lot of you guys. You may feel in the realm of relationships, but it could be anything really, just not being able to harness that drive and that whether it's wisdom or clarity or communication, whatever it is that you're looking for and you need, there's just some sort of block there, and it is preventing you guys, or has been, I should say, preventing you guys from really moving forward. So in your recent past, you have the Eight of Swords in the upright. This card, if you look at this woman, she's surrounded by these 8 swords. She's got her hands tied and she's got this blindfold on. She's kind of keeping herself contained in this prison of her own making. The swords are all about what's going on in your head. It's a very mental suit of cards. So this woman, all she really needs to do is take the blindfold off, which she's capable of doing, to realize that she's not as trapped as she thinks she is. So, with this Eight of Swords being here in the recent past, it says to me that some of you guys, again, maybe going back to what I said with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, may just be feeling trapped in your particular situation. Like, you don't have the confidence in yourselves to really make any decisions or to move forward in any particular way, especially in regard to a new path. Again, predominantly in terms of romantic relationships, but relationships in general. So again, there's just a really stagnant feel to all of this past energy, and almost a willful blindness or helplessness that you guys may have been dealing with. And so the challenge is definitely going to be working through that on a mental and an emotional level, and figuring out what exactly those blocks are so that you can work to remove them and allow yourselves to embrace a lot of the energies that are coming in for you guys, because there is some positive stuff here. So again, just this coming month, really kind of go within. If you guys have been struggling, if you've been a little bit impatient and wanting something to manifest, be it a relationship or a job or whatever it is that you've had your heart set on do kind of go within and think, well, is there anything that I'm doing that's holding me back from achieving this? Is there anything that I need to fix about myself so that I can be in the best place and situation, both externally and internally, to allow myself to really embrace the new path that's being laid out for me? And that's just going to help you guys to move forward. So the cards that are above your central issue are cards that I generally see as being external influences. This means that they can be being done to you by somebody else. They could be something that somebody else in your life is going through. They can be energies that are being brought in by universe or spirit or God or whatever it is that you may particularly believe in. But generally speaking, they are things that are a little bit more out of your control. Additionally, they can be things that are going on in your own mind. And so both of these cards, I'll just kind of read them in tandem. You've got the High Priestess in reverse at the top of your reading here, and also the Ace of Cups in reverse. And both cards say to me that there's definitely a lack of clarity and therefore a need for clarity. So the High Priestess is the card who, she's basically like the keeper of knowledge. You know, she knows all things, but she's very, very stingy when it comes to doling information out. She kind of sits on secrets. And with this card being in the reverse, you know, it says to me that a lot of you guys have the information that you need. You know, going back to this Eight of Swords here, you have the information you need, you have the knowledge that you need, but maybe you just aren't listening to your own gut. You aren't following your intuition. You're not tuning in to, you know, a higher power, or opening yourselves up to spiritual energy, things that are going to be able to come in almost serendipitously and clarify the situation for you. So if you are that kind of person, if you're a little bit closed off, if you haven't really taken the time to be introspective, then this upcoming month, you're definitely being challenged by spirit to do that, to really go within, but also open yourselves up and be a little bit more vulnerable so that spirit can help guide you. Because the more closed off you are, the harder it's going to be to receive any signs or symbols to help guide you in the right path. Likewise, that's echoed here by the Ace of Cups in reverse. You know, the aces to me, when they show up in the reverse, it's not a negative thing. It just says to me that the energy is blocked. So the Ace of Cups in the upright, you know, you have this eye here, and you also have the moon, which also goes back to the moon that you see in the High Priestess card. And the moon, you know, is all about secrets, but the eye, because it's so open and there's this light shining out from it, that to me speaks of clarity, especially on an emotional level. And there's a definite need for you guys to get that this month. And with this card being in the reverse, it says to me again, some of you guys might be a little bit closed off emotionally. Maybe you're not doing that introspective work that you need to be doing and really sorting through your emotions and figuring things out. Also, you know, working on things, tuning into your subconscious so that you can really figure out these things that have been limiting you in your past and how you can move on from them. Because once you do that, you have the potential to flip this Ace of Cups into the upright. And this bodes really, really well for this beginning of new relationships, new emotional ventures or endeavors, things that are just going to be able to bring you ultimately emotional contentment and satisfaction down the line. But we do have this blocked energy here, and it's just going to be a matter of flipping this in the upright. And that's going to come with, again, really going within and figuring things out, figuring out what's been holding you back, why you feel maybe that you aren't as confident in yourselves, you feel a little bit trapped, like things just really aren't going your way. Whatever it is that you may have been struggling with emotionally, really working on that and working to let go of that and, you know, process that so that you can move forward into something bigger and better for you. So again, I do like seeing that ace there though, because even though it's in the reverse, it does symbolize a new beginning, and that's going to be on offer for you guys. So do keep that in mind. It's not all doom and gloom. So the cards that are beneath your central issue are cards that I generally view as being foundational energy. This means that this could be something that you've been dealing with for a long time now, and you're bringing that with you into the month of September. It can also just generally mean things that are a bit more within your realm of control. And so you guys have the Two of Cups here. First thing, it is in the upright, which again, this bodes very, very well for relationships, especially romantic relationships. You have the Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups, and we'll get into the Lovers in a minute. but you have a lot of positive cards here for relationships. So, on a romantic front, you do have some positive energies surrounding you. I do just think that there is some work that you can do on yourselves to really put yourselves in a better mindset, a bit healthier place mentally and emotionally, and that'll just allow you to attract even better people to you. If you are one of those people who I mentioned earlier who are single and you're very, very unhappy about it, maybe things just haven't been working out in the love department, this card being in your foundation shows me that, again, some of you guys have been craving this kind of relationship, this kind of spiritual, almost soulmate level connection. And you're almost to the point where you're willing to do anything to get this and to really, complete this dream of yours, to have this kind of relationship. So, if you aren't already in a relationship, then you may just be craving one so desperately that it's holding you back because you're so focused on the relationship potential with another person that, again, you're forgetting to really do that kind of work with yourself that you need to do to make sure that you're in the best place you can possibly be in when it comes to pursuing a romantic interest, or, again, not just romance, but even business or, a friendship, whatever it may be for you guys. For those of you who are in relationships, with that card being there in the upright, it definitely says to me that you guys have a very positive connection. Again, soulmate level, because you do have the Lovers here. And also the Ace of Cups, even though it is in the reverse. You just may be going through a period of time right now where maybe you're a little stressed out, maybe, emotionally you're a bit drained. You might be dealing with a bunch of stuff and you just really aren't sure how you're going to move forward or how you're going to deal with these particular issues. And that could be causing stress and strain on your relationship. But with that card there being there in the foundation, it says that your relationship is definitely a positive one. And it's also a reminder that your relationship is within your realm of control. So if there is work that both of you guys need to do on yourselves, going in within and doing that introspection and working through things on a personal level is only going to improve your relationship. So again, your relationship is within your realm of control. We can't always control things that happen to us externally. Some things just happen and you just have to learn how to roll with the punches. But you definitely have a strong relationship there in the foundation. If it is in the need of a little bit of TLC, do make sure that you pay attention to your partner this month. And really, really work to continue to strengthen that relationship and that connection and potentially even elevate it to a new level. And I say that because we have the Fool card here in reverse. So regardless of your situation, this is in the foundation. This is a completely new beginning, going in a totally new direction. And it is in the reverse, which says to me that we are not quite at that point yet where we are ready and able and willing to go off on this new path. But because the card is here in the foundation for a while now, you guys have had this energy where there is this brewing anticipation of a new beginning. And this is on offer for you guys. It's just going to be a matter, again, of either working on things on a personal level. I think everybody can do that, and that's something that everybody should do as often as possible. But even in your relationships, just working to get yourselves primed and ready to go off in a new direction, really to flip this Fool into the upright, to clear out that blocked energy and to go off into something new. So I do like seeing this in the foundation, and this is also, again, a reminder, because it's beneath your central issue, that this new path is within your control. You have the ability to kind of pull the trigger on whether or not you want to go forward into something new. It's just that if you aren't in the best place on a mental or an emotional level, if you aren't as confident and as sure-footed as you need to be, the Fool being a card about taking a leap of faith, again, if you're not sure-footed, you're probably going to crash and burn when you take that leap of faith. So the more confident you are personally and also within your relationships and within, your romantic relationships and your friendships and whatever, basically your inner circle, the more able you're going to be to go off in this new direction, because you're going to feel solid and you're also going to have a strong support group around you to help guide you through anything that may pop up along the way. So Again, I do like seeing both this Ace of Cups here and this Fool here, but because they're in the reverse, it just says to me that we have a little bit more work to do before we are able to flip those cards into the upright and really, really harness this new beginning, especially in regard to romantic relationships, and especially if we are single and desperately craving a relationship. So moving forward in your near future, you guys have the Lovers card. With you guys being Gemini, this to me says that more than anything, this is your energy. This can speak definitely 100% to relationships, and with the Ace of Cups here and the Two of Cups here, it says to me that this is going to be relevant to a lot of you guys, meaning that in the near future, somebody may come in and they might be, you know, the soulmate, the person you've been looking for. If you're single, if you're coupled, you know, any relationship issues may start to resolve themselves. You might become even closer. You might elevate your relationship to another level toward the beginning or the middle of the month. So again, bodes really well for partnerships. But this card also represents Gemini in the Major Arcana. This is your card. So if we've been dealing with these issues on an internal level and within ourselves, I think that within the next couple of weeks, you guys are really going to start to come into your own. So I do like seeing this here in the near future, right next to that Nine of Pentacles in reverse, because it says to me that whatever lack of confidence that we are not feeling, whatever issues we may be dealing with financially or personally or whatever, we're going to start working through that and really start to come into our own. You know, the only issue we have here is that we have this King of Swords in the reverse toward the end of the month. So this could again be a manifestation of your energy because you are an air sign. It can also be another air sign, which is again Aquarius, Gemini like yourselves, and Libra. So if you are dealing with this other person, this would likely be somebody you are connected to, most likely romantically, but just in a relationship in general. And you might have some difficulty communicating with them. There might be a bit of an emotional drain or an emotional strain on your relationship. And again, if that's the case and you guys are coupled or whatever it may be, just do what I said earlier and really take time to, recommit yourselves to one another and to bring your relationship forward to a new level, because you guys are primed for a new beginning if this is a romantic partner, or even a friendship or a business partnership. For others of you, this is just going to be, again, your own energy. And it's like maybe we aren't 100% decisive or clear as to what we want to do by the end of the month. We haven't completely made the strides that we need to make to get to where we need to be. We might not be feeling 100% ourselves, but we do have our own energy right here. And we're really, really starting to embrace that energy. We might not be there 100% by the end of the month. But don't despair, because you do have the Ace of Cups and the Fool, which all speaks to new beginnings and new directions and stuff. So, I think that by the end of the year, a lot of you guys are going to be in a much better place on a personal level, also within your relationships, and just generally speaking, a better place in terms of clarity and insight and wisdom and introspection and using your intuition and really embracing that gut instinct and relying on it a little bit more to guide you. And the overall energy for your spread, this was the card at the bottom of the deck. This is the Six of Swords in the upright. The Six of Swords is all about moving from a turbulent situation or turbulent waters into calm seas. So going from something that was, a bit toxic or chaotic or negative, and moving on into something calmer and more peaceful and just better for you, especially on a mental level, and also emotionally, because we do have a lot of water energy here and a lot of blue. So with this overshadowing your entire reading, this says to me that we have to work on getting ourselves out of these turbulent seas and into these calm waters so that we can find the clarity that we need. This is all about moving on and moving forward into something better. Again, really embracing that Fool energy and that Ace of Cups energy, but making sure that we get ourselves completely out of those rough seas, this, kind of chaotic energy that we've got going on here and even up here emotionally, to really move forward into a new path and embrace what's being offered to us. So as long as we get ourselves into the position where we're able to do that this month, we're going to be setting ourselves up for some really positive things to manifest, definitely within the next month, but also within the next couple of months. So you guys have a lot of good things on offer. It's just a matter of working out those issues within, so that you can be the best you can be in order to move forward in the most constructive and positive way. I do also have some oracle cards here to give a little bit more information regarding your particular situation. I read these oracle cards as past and future energies in terms of things that you've brought with you into this month, and also things that you will be carrying with you throughout the month. So your card for your past energy is the Rabbit card, or fertility. You know, this can literally be fertility for some people. Like maybe you guys have been hoping to get pregnant and it's just not been happening. And it might not happen this month, but you know, you're keeping on. But I think that would just be a very, very small group of people. This is also about cycles, because if you think about how quickly and how much rabbits reproduce, you know, it's almost cyclic. It's just constant. And the rabbit kind of shows up when we need to pay a little bit more attention to the cycles in our lives. And that's not just, you know, cycles that we're actually going through on a physical level. But again, cycles that we put ourselves into, especially with this Eight of Swords in the upright here. It says to me, like maybe for a while now, we've had these blinders up and we've just kind of been stuck in that mode, cyclically, just going around and around and around on the merry-go-round and not really being able to figure out how or when to get off. So, you know, I do like that energy is in the past, just because if we have been dealing with things cyclically, there's definitely kind of the beginnings of working through that this month for a lot of you guys. But just generally speaking, it's a reminder to really make yourselves aware of the cycles that you have been stuck in and that you put yourselves through, and figuring out which cycles are negative and toxic and just generally unhelpful, and breaking the chains that bind and moving on and moving forward into something better. So the card you guys have for the future energy is the Ant card, or strength. And this is a really positive card. However, the key word of this card is patience. So it's all about being patient or being too patient. In other words, some of you guys need to be patient when it comes to the things that you want to manifesting. Going back again to those of you who may be desperately craving a romantic connection or an emotional bond or a friend or a business partnership. Being patient for those things to manifest, because if you push too hard for something to happen before it's time, you're just going to keep pushing it further and further away. Likewise, those of you who may be out there being a bit too being too patient are going to miss out on these new beginnings and new opportunities because you're just procrastinating. And I don't want to say being lazy. It's just, I think that with this Eight of Swords energy being in your past, you guys might be a little caught up in your own head and unable to figure out where you need to go. And that's just kind of keeping you a bit complacent and not really able to move forward and be more proactive when it comes to getting what you want. So you do have two camps here. But again, I do like that we have, you know, the Gemini card here in the near future. This is the only thing I don't like. And this could, again, maybe that some of you guys are just being too impatient, or you're not really harnessing your own energy in the way that you need to really make decisions, to be clear-minded, and to, you know, move forward by the end of the month. But again, there are positive signs of some progress. If you guys do what I mentioned about working on yourselves and going within, I know it's really kind of metaphysical, spiritual, mumbo-jumbo sounding stuff, but we all really need to focus on being more introspective and being more aware of our own thoughts and emotions, because that way we figure out our own limiting behaviors and we can work to fix those things And once we do that, not only do we allow ourselves to move forward in a more positive way, we also open ourselves up to more positive things coming in. So again, just really embrace the energy of that Six of Swords. Get yourself out of those turbulent waters and move into those calmer seas, and things will start to fall in place for you, because you do have some really positive new beginnings on offer for you. It's just going to be a matter of getting there. So I do hope that this reading resonated with some of you guys. If it did, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. If you like the video, I would definitely appreciate if you would give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to my channel. You know, I do want to take a minute just to thank all of you guys who have already done so for the August videos and the mid-month updates. I've gotten far more support than I could have ever expected, and it's definitely exceeded any expectation that I had when I first started out this channel. So thank you all again for all of you who have watched, subscribed, and like my videos. I definitely greatly appreciate it. So just another reminder, if this reading didn't resonate, or if you want a little bit more clarity regarding your situation, do make sure to check out your moon sign and rising sign. All the other signs except for the air signs, you guys, are up. So do make sure to check those out for a little bit more information. And thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you all in a couple of weeks with your mid-month updates.